Hello everyone, I'm Joshua.
And I'm Abe.
I'm Amanda.
I'm Jay.
I'm Josh too.
Hello everyone, Joshua Myers here. And today the film I'm going to be reviewing is Disney Pixar's Up from 2009.
Over the years, Disney Pixar has taken you on amazing journeys to worlds you've never imagined. On May 29th, they'll take you on their next great adventure with Carl Fredricksen. And he won't even have to leave his house.
So long, boys!
Disney Pixar invites you to discover a lost world with these guys.
Ah!
Hi, Mr. Fredricksen. Please let me in.
No. All right.
Disney Pixar's Up, presented in Disney Digital 3D.
Boop, beep, 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 boop. With my GPS, we'll never be lost. Oops.
To see a special first look of Up, go to Disney.com.
Disney Pixar's Up stars Ed Asher, Jordan Nagai, Bob Peterson, and is directed by Pete Dockery. The plot of Disney Pixar's Up is that Carl Fredricksen, a retired balloon salesman, is part rascal, part dreamer, and ready for his last chance at high-flying excitement. Tying thousands of balloons to his house, Carl sets off to the lost world of his childhood dreams. But unbeknownst to Carl, Russell, an overeager 8-year-old wilderness explorer who has never ventured beyond his backyard, is in the wrong place at the wrong time. Carl's front porch. The most unlikely duo reach new heights and meet fantastic friends like Doug, a dog with a special collar that allows him to speak, and Kevin, a rare 13-foot-tall flightless bird, stuck together in the wilds of the jungle. Carl realizes that sometimes life's biggest adventures aren't the ones you set out to have. Now, before I get started on my likes and dislikes with this movie, I will say, this is the first time I've ever seen this movie. Guilty as charged. I've never seen this movie until now. In fact, just got done watching it a little while ago. I've been hearing from so many people saying how good this movie was and that. You know, even my friends recommended me it, my family, especially one of my brothers. And so here are my thoughts on it. What are my positives with Up? Honestly, for me, I gotta say everything. You know, honestly, it's so good. I'm honestly skipping negatives on this one because I see no negatives with this movie, really. Now, I will say this. You know, this is kind of be a combo thing where I talk about both positives and negatives at the same time, because that's really how I could really talk about it. And honestly, for me, you know, the only negative I have with this movie is that, you know, the last act, you know, especially, you know, somewhere between the middle and last act, isn't as strong as the first act or the very end. But that's really it. I still think this is a really good movie, actually. Like, honestly, what can I really say about Up that hasn't really been said already by dozens of people on YouTube or just on the internet in general? I will say this. I do really dug the animation. It's so beautiful to look at. Also, again, you know, the writing is really good, you know, and it gets so emotional. Honestly, there were times I did, I was trying to hold in my tears. Like, there were certain times I was that close, you know, to going in just bawling, actually, because they did such a good job with the emotional aspects of this movie. And also, I would say, you know, again, there's some visually creative stuff in this, you know, with, you know, the balloons and all that stuff tied to this house. And that, there's just so much good stuff. And here's the thing. One of the characters I thought was going to really found myself annoyed with, Russell, which at first he was definitely annoying. And I think that was just to show how annoying he is to Carl, this elderly man, and then, because he's really the main character, Carl is, you know, and so I guess I was trying to put you in the shoes of the main character, which it did work. I did found Russell extremely annoying for a lot of it. But as, you know, they start to bond and everything, you know, kind of becomes somewhat of a, you know, kind of grandfather-like figure to Russell and that, you know. Russell kind of starts to grow on you, actually, just like how he does with, like, to Carl. And there's some underlining stuff with the writing that I noticed, like, with analyzing it, and it's really powerful stuff, actually, you know, like, you know, trying to let go of the past, you know, and, you know, just go straight, you know, you go forward, not backwards, you know, and, you know, just, you know, it's hard to let things go, but sometimes you have to in order to really be happy with your life. All that stuff is great. And knowing that, you know, the humor is really good too. I found myself laughing at a lot of stuff. Especially like you had, you know, these dogs with the voice callers and that, you know, the dog Doug was a part of. And there was this, like, Doberman or whatever, this, who's supposedly the main bad guy dog or whatever. And you would think something, like, they don't have him speak or anything for when he first shows up. Keep him in shadows and that for a little bit, and then, you know, when you do see him in that, you think something like you would expect a really menacing voice to come out of him, but no, it's like
a really high-pitched voice like this, you know, except a little bit higher than what I'm doing, because this is the highest I can go right now.
And I just found myself laughing at that, because you would think a much more menacing voice would come out of that thing, but I'm sorry. It's just so funny. That's probably the funniest thing in the movie. Also, I really did dug the pacing of this film, too. Like, this movie is an hour and a half, and I did not felt that hour and a half. To me, it really felt more like it was 30 minutes to an hour long. That's how fast it felt to me. But it wasn't too fast to where it, you know, didn't, you know, it was so rushed where it couldn't take time to actually, you know, get you emotionally invested in that, you know, in the story and characters and that. Oh, the music is really good too, actually. This is one of those Disney movies that, honestly, I would actually not mind picking up the soundtrack for, actually. It's that good of a soundtrack, in my opinion. Like, it's that good of a score. I'm not sure who composed it. I'm not sure, but man, whoever did, kudos to that person. Because I didn't have time to research who composed the music or whatever for this film. So with that said, I'm going to give Up a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Now, that, you know, that one issue I had does kind of linger a bit for me. You know, if it wasn't for that, then yeah, this definitely would be a 5 out of 5 star for me. But 4.5 out of 5 is good. Actually, I really dug the hell out of this movie. It's probably one of my favorite, like, it's definitely up there with one of my favorite Pixar movies, for sure. And definitely up there with one of my favorite movies of all time. And honestly, I'm glad I watched it. So that's it for this review. Thank you guys for watching, and see you next time.